is Nina. You're watching Fairy Chamber channel, continuing my series on the Baltic mythology, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about a goddess who I am very fond of in her all forms that they appear across Europe and across the world, but especially in Slavic and Baltic context. And this goddess is Ragana. In Slavic country she is known as Baba Yaga. In Finland I would say that Louhi would represent her. Louhi is a witch of the north in Finnish mythology, but then you can find similar goddesses in all different cultures. There is Hecate in Greek pantheon, Morrigan in Celtic Irish pantheon, and so on. So you can find her pretty much all over the world. Drinking my raspberry tea here. Can you see how my new mug, it matches with my dress? Oh, the name of Ragana, it comes from a Baltic verb, regeti. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. All Lithuanian watchers, I apologize if I cannot pronounce these. Regeti, which is a verb that means to know, see and foresee, and to the noun ragas, which means a horn or crescent. So Ragana, she is also related to the moon and to the night time very heavily, and she can transform herself to any animal. Her favorite form of animal is the toad. Ragana's holy animal is the toad, and she can also transform herself to a hedgehog or a fish and also a bird. She's really very much connected to flying, as you can probably guess, but she did not fly directly with a broomstick. She originally flied just with a stick. And the stick or a slump, it is a symbol of a dead nature. She is related to winter and autumn time, but in a way she is also connected with all different seasons. She is a big representation of the Mother Earth. She is one face of the Mother Earth. And in the winter solstice, the assemblies of Raganas, they fly at night to special meeting place on a hill. This is something that we also have in Finnish and Scandinavian mythology, where witches, they gather together on a hill. In Finland this usually happens around Easter, but in Lithuania and in Latvia, a translation for witch is Ragana. So all the witches who are watching this, I am Ragana and you are Ragana. And she represents the nature, the mortality of nature, how everything in the end dies and reborns again. Ragana, she is a goddess that created huge amount of fear in people, and when you think about all the witch and goddesses of magic, they have always created fear among people. But this fear, it started when Christianization started in Europe. Ragana's worship, however, it goes back to the first arrivals of men and women. It is older than in the European religion. She is not a Indo-European goddess. She is pre-Indo-European goddess. She is, could I say, Neopalaic goddess. She is one of the first female goddesses ever worshipped on earth, and she doesn't have a male companion, because the male companions and female companions, the fertility myth throughout that way, it is a Indo-European invention. So she is a Neopalaic goddess. Terrible word, fucking English. And she is goddess of the night, goddess of the winter, goddess of birth, death and regeneration. And her worship, it goes back all the way to those hunting collector days, and when the shamanism, the worldview changed from worshipping animals as supreme deities and nature as supreme deity, the nature worship it became more female oriented. That is when the worship of Ragana started in area of Latvia and Lithuania back in the days, in the pagan times. And all of the early hunters, they sacrificed for Ragana. They worshipped Ragana, goddess of magic and goddess of balance. Ragana, she is the goddess of balance, and she is not just the goddess of fear, she is also a goddess of accepting who you are, accepting your dark self and accepting your light self. Knowing goddess, that is what her name literally means. She is the woman who foresees. She is the wild woman. She is the tamed woman. She is the woman who teaches you to learn. She is the woman who tells you to be the child, tells you to be the maiden, and tells you to be the crone. And Ragana, she is the goddess that heals. She is the goddess that also destroys. She is the goddess of balance. Because without evil you cannot have anything good. Without light you cannot have darkness. And without warm you cannot have coldness. That is why we need winter to go along with the summer. We need spring to go along with the autumn. We need death that we can have life, and we need life to have death. So she is the goddess that represents all of these things. She is that acceptance of who you are in the goddess Mother Earth aspect. And she's also very connected to menstruation. She's connected to female cycle, very much connected with seasons and the wheel of the year turning. She can appear from a frightening old hag, a stereotypical witch, to a beautiful seductress, to a wild child, to a wild woman, all the way to nurturing mother. She can also appear as a serpent, but toad was very sacred animal to Ragana, and in the pagan times in Lithuania, toads were called as Ragana's toads, and it was believed to be very bad luck if you would kill a toad, or if you would torture a toad, because then Ragana would obviously come and get you. But Ragana is very connected with toads, and she can shapeshift to many different animal forms. And if you are familiar with the Slavic story of Baba Yaga, which has similar origins to Ragana, all the shapeshifting that happens in that story, these all forms, they are different representation of Ragana's nature. Same way as in these Baltic stories, all the animals that Ragana shapeshifts into, these all animals, they are different symbols of birth and rebirth. For example, snake, it can shapeshift its skin, it can recreate itself, so that is a very perfect example of rebirth. Then we have toad who shapeshifts its form from the day it is born from an egg to a little, I don't know the English word, all the way to a massive slimy toad. And Ragana, she was demonized very early by different Christians who started to invade Europe. This has created this massive stamp to her forehead that Ragana equals vampire, Ragana equals a cannibal or a succubus, or someone, female spirit, who only drowns men and sucks life out of them. So that is all Christian invention. That is all connected with her being the goddess of balance, because without evil you cannot have any good. And as humans, we do have our shadow aspects and we have our light aspects, and it is our personal decision to decide how do we cope in this world, and how do we behave, and how we treat other people. It is all about balance. and there isn't such thing as black magic and white magic. Magic is all neutral, and this is something that all these powerful female goddesses of magic are about. They're about neutral magic, but it is up to the Ragana to decide yourself how do you use that magic. For example, early shamans, they worked, their major job was to work with balance of nature, and was to balance the human beings or the spirits. So that is the very early concept within witchcraft and in shamanism and in magic. Ragana, she doesn't have this depict idea of her or how did she look like. Of course, the Baba Yaga and Louhi, when they were demonized, they all became these old hags. But Ragana, originally, she did not have this kind of form. She was a shapeshifter spirit goddess, and when she was depicted, she was usually depicted as a woman who was in one hand holding a broadsword and in the other one holding a chalice. And the broadsword would depict her position as the goddess of balance, because you need to have that power of kick-ass aspect in you. Then the chalice, it portrays the womb and the female nurturing aspect and healing waters that she has. So she is the bringer of destruction, but then again she is the bringer of peace, abundance and healing and love. So these are all different aspects of Ragana. Thank you for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoy this. I'll see you on my next video, so take care of yourself. Bye! This is one of my older videos. I hope you guys still liked it. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you want to learn more about my studies around myths and folklore, head over to my website fairychamber.com. I will see you next time. Take care.